Hello, welcome back to Kaito Tutorials. Today we're going to continue the Simple Inventory tutorial series. There's been a change in the tutorial series. We'll not be doing the location management since it's almost the same as the categories management, just different attributes. Instead, we're going to use product management, and then so that we can move towards the building the interface. So we'll first do the iOS. We'll be using SwiftUI 2.0. Then we're going to use once we're done with that interface, we'll do the Android using Jetpack Compose, and we'll do a simple web interface as well. We'll either be using React or Vue.js. Okay, so what we're going to do now is create the model for the categories. So in order to create the model, we need to create a connection between the database. So database connection is what we have defined above, which is related to the constants file, the credentials file. It's important that the name inside of the define matches the name of the table inside of the database. Also, it's important that inside of the options of the model that you're creating, you select freeze table and set it to true. What happens is that SQLize automatically pluralizes the names of tables. So, example, if you call it category, it's going to call it categories, which may not be the table inside of the database, so you want to tell it to use the exact name that you gave it. Timestamp, we have disabled that because automatically SQLize will create a timestamp. It's going to expect a column called update at as well as created at. But you can actually map it to a column if you have a example, a timestamp column, so you can map that custom column to the default attributes. So we have created the ID, so categories ID, as well as the category name. The reason why we use the default value is because we want it if there's no ID sent to the method, we want it to automatically generate its own method. Not method. We want it to generate its own primary key. Okay, now that we have created the model, we're going to now create a route, a post route. So we can call it whatever we like, but we decide to call it create new category, and it takes a request as well as a response. So request is what will carry the payload of the parameters sent to that route, and the response is what we are going to send back to the user. The setting the header is optional. I just set it so that the route knows what it will be accepting. Then all we need to do is call the model name and the create attribute and say request.body. So what that tells you is that it will map automatically once the parameters that you have sent maps to the model that you create. It will take the body from the parameter, the JSON body, and automatically map it and send it to the database. So let's test out the route. So let's create the body. We'll use raw and JSON. So as mentioned earlier, we need to ensure that the keys match what we have inside of the model. And the beauty about SQLize doing it like this is that it makes editing and updating the models and the API so much easier. So let's see if it works. It's missing the category name. If you have been following the series, the reason for it is because we haven't placed the body parser to tell Express that it needs to handle JSON responses and different formats requests. So what we need to do is copy this, in the interest of time, we copy the body parser to the file. But one other thing that we could do, as seen, is actually test to see what is being received to debug the API. So by doing that, that's debugging the API, we can see what exactly, if it is that the method has actually received anything and what it is returning to trace a problem. So in doing so, I realized that that is what was missing. So we're going to copy the body parser as mentioned and paste it there in the interest of time. And now it works.